Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. The Hazelton Area School District announced plans to resume in-person learning this spring. Our Philip Kaufman spoke with Superintendent Brian Uplinger and has more on the decision.
Last week, the Hazelton Area School District came to a decision on bringing staff, teachers, and students back this spring. It's been received with mixed feedback, and we sat down with Superintendent Brian Uplinger to discuss the plan.
We're going to look to see how many students are actually going to return, and based on that number, we'll be able to decide how many students are actually going to be coming at, or what our schedule will be 5 days a week, or could it be 2 days a week, or whatever the case may be. However, again, we need to know how many students are going to be returning ahead of time. We did do a survey of parents just recently. About 5,500 parents replied. Again, that's still a lot less than the 12,000 students that we have in the school district. Of those 55 surveys that were returned, roughly half were going to return to the schools and half were going to stay online.
The district will also be receiving over $17 million in federal pandemic relief, which many parents and members of the community are wanting to know what the funding will go towards. So we asked the superintendent.
Some of that CARES money will be utilized for implementation of new mental health programs that we haven't been able to do in the past. Those will help us mitigate any issues we see for students returning, as well as moving into the future, into the next school year. Also, we're looking at our city schools to utilize those interventionists in both math and reading to try to assist some of the students that may have fallen behind because of this pandemic and being online for such a long time.
While some agreed with the decision, others are concerned regarding several topics, such as teachers' accountability, which Uplinger confirmed that the district is monitoring and investigating these claims. Another concern was regarding transportation.
At this point in time, transportation is not being offered. Again, that could change as we get closer to the April 12th return. We have to look at the safety and security of the drivers, the students that are on and off the school buses, and making sure that they follow all the recommendations for social distancing and masking and things of that nature. So we want to make sure that everybody's being safe. So we're talking with the contractors, making sure that we have the best plan in place. And again, that not providing transportation could certainly change, and we would be able to provide that transportation.
Superintendent Uplinger wanted to thank everyone for their patience during these times as the district continues to find the safest solution. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. As we reported to you last week, State Representative Tara Toohill asked the State Department of Health to move the residents of Kadima at Luzerne in drums. A report came in about 30 of the 31 rehabilitation and nursing facility residents testing positive for COVID-19, and that the department will be investigating. Officials found 12 health violations during an inspection last September. Witnesses allege that staff used the same PPE after entering COVID quarantined rooms, and that a number of expired medication was discovered, as well as unclean food storage rooms and equipment. Reports also came in from families on 2 residents that recently passed away, and the department filed a complaint based on Toohill's concerns. Toohill plans to put families in touch with the appropriate liaison if they'd like to begin the process of moving their loved ones from the facility. Freeland police charged a 30-year-old woman with child endangerment. According to police, an unidentified juvenile was staying at the home of Shelby McCullough at 338 Washington Street. The minor told authorities he was staying with McCullough while he was looking for a job and also used meth with her. McCullough was charged with child endangerment and corruption of minors and released on $10,000 unsecured bail. A Bradford County District Attorney's been charged after allegations of sexual assault were brought up against him. Attorney General Josh Shapiro said Chad Salzman would regularly use his position and power as an attorney to coerce his victims into performing sexual acts on him. A grand jury heard testimony from 5 women who said they were manipulated and sexually assaulted by Salzman while he was serving as their defense attorney. Salzman faces over a dozen charges, including sexual assault, indecent assault, intimidation of a witness or victim, obstruction of justice, and prostitution. A Whitehaven woman was in cuffs after a routine traffic stop turned up 369 suspected packets of heroin and fentanyl last year in Foster Township. State police at Hazleton stopped a vehicle along Route 940 just before 7 p.m. November 5th during a Luzerne County Task Force detail. Arrest papers stated that the packets were found on the passenger, 46-year-old Heather Caramelli, along with a white straw with a powder residue. Caramelli was charged January 26th with felony manufacture, delivery, or possession with intent to deliver, and misdemeanor possession of a controlled substance and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. She was released the same day on $5,000 unsecured bail. A Hazel Township man was charged after confessing to state police that he had both crystal meth and fentanyl at his home last year. 38-year-old Paco Nunez was taken into custody during a traffic stop back on July 9th after confessing to having the drugs in his home and gave permission to search it. Once at the home, troopers noticed a silver Honda Accord parked outside with the trunk open and discovered just under 13 pounds of crystal meth, 2 scales, and a cutting agent. Just under 278 grams of fentanyl and miscellaneous packaging materials were then seized from inside the home. Nunez was charged January 29th with felony manufacture and delivery or possession with intent to deliver, and use or possession of a controlled substance and drug paraphernalia. He was denied bail the next day after being deemed a danger to society. Officials with PennDOT remind motorists to be aware of traffic laws and stay safe while celebrating the big game this weekend. Our Julie Stefanovich has more.
The big game usually means get-togethers, though large gatherings aren't encouraged during the pandemic. But if you do plan on attending a small party, make sure that you have a plan for getting home safely.
We want everybody to enjoy it, watch the game, especially with the winter weather that we had. People are like, want to get going and watch, enjoy sports. So if you're having a party under the COVID-19 guidelines, just do not drink and drive. That's all we ask, is that people be safe and drink. If you're drinking at the end of the third quarter, stop drinking if you're driving.
February 21st marks the start of Highway Safety Law Awareness Week. And PennDOT is reminding residents about current laws, including the Steer Clear Law, whose name has recently been changed.
So basically, the Move Over law, it requires drivers approaching an emergency response area who are unable to safely merge into a lane farther away from the response area to slow down 20 miles below the speed limit.
There's also laws that motorists must adhere to when driving in inclement weather conditions.
If you have your wipers on, your headlights should be on, and especially with, the winter weather and the rain that we're having.
Rules also apply to motorcyclists.
We have the motorcycle helmet law, and that is for requires any person who operates a motorcycle must wear protective headgear unless he or she is 20 years or older.
Children 12 and younger must also stay safe by wearing a helmet when they're out on their bicycles.
But of course, we encourage everybody to wear a helmet if you are riding a bicycle, even if you're older, 12 years old, to decrease the risk of any head injury if you get in a crash.
Always remember to buckle up, as a click it or ticket law is enforced year-round.
Anybody under the 18 years of age have to have a seatbelt or some kind of child passenger safety seat anywhere in the vehicle. If you're over 18, it becomes a secondary law in Pennsylvania, so you have to have a primary offense, like if you drove too fast and you got pulled over for speeding and they saw you didn't wear your seatbelt, which is where the click it or ticket comes in.
And lastly, if you love music, you're reminded not to use headphones or earbuds while behind the wheel, as it's also against the law. So buckle up, stay safe, and keep aware of traffic information by visiting 511pa.com or PennDOT's website. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on Wyln News, wondering about the COVID-19 vaccine side effects? Well, we've got you covered. Plus, highlights from last night's Girls Cougar Wolfpack matchup. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Charlie. I am 8, and the weather forecast for tomorrow will be snowy.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
What's on TV? Plenty. WYLN TV 35, the best in local programming.
2 new pop-up COVID-19 testing sites are set to open tomorrow. The drive-through sites are part of the Department of Health's efforts to determine the prevalence of the virus. One of the sites will open at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds in Columbia County, while the other opens up at the Forksville Fairgrounds in Sullivan County. Testing will be available from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. starting tomorrow, February 5th, until Tuesday, February 9th. As Pennsylvanians gradually become eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, some are probably wondering what to expect once they get it. Well, according to an infectious diseases doctor from UPMC Susquehanna, it's more common for people to experience side effects after the second dose of the vaccine, which can last up to 3 days. That goes for both Moderna and Pfizer, as side effects may include pain at the injection site, swollen glands, sore muscles, sweating, and/or skin rashes. Those with Botox injections and prosthetic or silicone implants could experience increased swelling and inflammation. If symptoms persist or worsen for more than 3 days, like trouble breathing or face swelling, it's recommended that you get a COVID test and seek medical help ASAP. With season coverage comes game highlights, and our Rhino Sachi has the recap from last night's Girls Cougar Wolfpack matchup.
Last night, WYLN Sports returned with some girls basketball as the Hazleton Lady Cougars hosted the Wilkes-Barre area Lady Wolfpack in a Wyoming Valley Conference matchup. The Lady Cougars started off strong with a three-pointer from Olivia Wolk for the first points of the night, but the Wolfpack answered with 6 straight points, including a 3 of their own from Reagan Holden. By the end of the first quarter, the score was 15-11, with the Wolfpack ahead of the Cougars, being led by Shelby Artie Boyko with 5 points and Gloria Ajayi with 7 points. The second quarter showed a very similar pattern as the Lady Cougars scored 2 quick baskets to tie the game at 15, but the Wolfpack answered with 6 straight points.
Ajayi right behind her. Ball on the floor, and Ajayi will have a chance for a three-point play.
Just as fast as Wilkes-Barre took that 6-point lead, Hazleton came back with an 8-point run, including 2 3-pointers to take the lead 23-21 halfway through the quarter. From there, the teams traded baskets as the score was 28-27 going into halftime with Hazleton in the lead. The tide shifted in the second half as this time Wilkes-Barre dominated the entire third quarter, outscoring the Lady Cougars 16-8. By the end of the quarter, the score was 43-36 Wilkes-Barre. The first half of the fourth quarter proved to be the most competitive as the Cougars narrowed the lead to 3 points.
In front of us, this is Wolf. She cuts it in half.
They
with the
do.
play.
But the Wolfpack took the win out of the sails of Hazleton as they gained momentum and took over for the rest of the game, mostly with their dynamic duo of Boyko and Ajayi. Boyko scored 16 points on the night, with 11 being in the second half. And Ajayi dominated with a 29-point night, scoring almost half of the points for the Wolfpack. The closest Hazleton got to closing the gap was 1 point, but Boyko and Ajayi weren't phased and just kept scoring, extending the lead. Hazleton's Brooke Boretsky managed to hit a 3-point buzzer beater in the final seconds, but it wasn't enough as Wilkes-Barre would win the game with a final score of 62-58. Reporting for WILN Sports, I'm Ryan Osachi.
Thanks, Ryan. Coming up on Williams Sports News Choice, we've got the history of Hillside SPCA in Community and You. Plus, Peeps are back, so stay with us.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on the new season of Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, tune in February 10th for the new season. Spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops returns February 10th at 9 o'clock on WYLN TV 35.
On this week's segment, we're back at the Hillside SPCA in Pottsville. The facility, nestled in the heart of Schuylkill County, is a nonprofit no-kill animal shelter. It was run for over 3 decades by manager Barbara Umlauf, who passed away in December.
Hillside's running for almost 34 years now. Excuse me. It's a good place to work. Dogs get to run free here. They're not locked in crates or locked up 24/7. All the dogs that are good with other dogs get to run and play all day long like a normal dog should. The ones that aren't so good with other dogs get several walks a day. They get mountain walks, they get time in a big yard to run and free and exercise. And they're all very spoiled here, let me tell you. They're all very loved. We love them like they're our own.
The employees and volunteers are the heartbeat of Hillside, and the new management is committed to taking care of the animals that pass through the doors.
It's an emotional job, a stressful job, but very rewarding at the same time. You know, that kind of confuses people. We go home every night, and you're supposed to leave your work at work. You can't in a place like this. You know, we think of the animals all the time. I've started out with one building, which the cats and the dogs resided in, and now we're up to 5 buildings. And that's all thanks to Barbara Umlauf, who raised the money and was able to build it to what it is today. And without her, there would be so many homeless animals. And sadly, since her passing, December 20th, we do have new management, which I said I'm the assistant manager now, and Tricia Moyer-Menser is the manager of the dog side, and we have Becky Moyer, who is the manager of the cat side. So there's lots of changes since, like, over the last few months, but we're just trying to do our best to continue doing what Barbara did. Barbara's life was these dogs and cats, and that's what we want to do, is keep her legacy alive. You know, it's, like I said, it's a wonderful place to work. We have phenomenal volunteers that are here daily, weekly. They come and sit with dogs, spend time with them, they walk them. All that extra attention helps the dogs a lot.
Fund was also set up in honor and memory of Barbara Umlauf's children, which helps out with the animals' medical cost.
Joe and Caroline's Fund is how all our dogs are vetted. They get spayed, neutered, microchipped, they get their shots, and without all our amazing donators, we're so grateful to all of them, because without them, Joe and Caroline's Fund wouldn't exist. And that is the one thing Barbara felt very strongly about. It was for both her kids that have passed, and for their love of animals is why she started it. But everybody, for the most part, is up to date on everything. So basically, when they get adopted, they just need a well visit.
The community can help out the shelter by either making monetary donations, volunteering, or bringing much needed items needed for daily pet care.
They can come any day of the week. We're open 365 days a year. Usually the best time to volunteer is like between 9 and 2. Donations are always, that's what keeps us running. Newspapers, dog food, wet and dry for both dogs and cats, and rabbit food, stuff like that, puppy food and kitten food that don't come that often. We're always asking for that. We usually get a lot of the dog food, the dry. The wet is where we're usually asking for more, you know, which is understandable, but that's how we run here. Everything's on donations, and without our supporters, we wouldn't be here to help all these homeless girls and boys, and as you can see, they're amazing dogs, amazing dogs.
The animals at Hillside are all looking for good homes.
All our adoptable dogs are listed on our website at hillsidespca.com. We're also an Adopt a Pet and Pet Finder. So any cat or dog or rabbit or gerbil, anything is always going to be listed for those that are adoptable.
For more information, you can visit hillsidespca.com. On the next episode, we'll be talking about keeping your pet protected during flea and tick season.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
CARES has immediate openings for life-sharing providers to mentor and provide care in their home for an adult with intellectual disabilities. Our life-sharing program focuses on independence, living in and enjoying a local community, and building a companionship that's beneficial to both parties. CARES will provide training, support, and a monthly compensation in the form of a stipend. If you'd like to learn more about life-sharing, call CARES at 866-CARES-VIP.
Tune in every Sunday night on WYLN from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on WYLN. I'll see you in the ring.
Hey folks, tune in this week. Tibby and Ed Staub of Eagle Rock are going to talk about how Christ is the center of their life, It allows them to respect their temple, and they believe that chiropractic maintenance care is the best way to go. Stay tuned.
After 47 years in business, the Edwardsville Kmart will be closing up shop in April. The Edwardsville store took to Facebook yesterday to make the announcement, mentioning that a liquidation sale was going to begin today. It's the only remaining Kmart in Luzerne County, as thousands have closed and struggled to stay open in recent years, even before the pandemic hit. The Post also expressed gratitude for all associates and supervisors, as well as lifelong customers who have weathered through numerous floods and every storm with them. Flooding ravaged the Kmart store during the Agnes flood of 1972, then again in 1996, 2004, 2006, and when Tropical Storm Lee hit back on September 9th, 2011. This famous marshmallow candy's making a comeback just in time for Easter. Peeps were on the hiatus for the past 9 months as the Bethlehem-based company Just Born Quality Confections halted production back in September over safety concerns in their plants during the pandemic. The little yellow chicks have been an Easter basket staple for almost 70 years. Nearly 2 billion were produced each year pre-pandemic. The company announced yesterday that Peeps are back in production, baby, and expected to be out in full force for the Easter holiday. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
Having a trusted local healthcare partner who knows you and keeps you well is vital. Lehigh Valley Health Network's Vital Choice program is a free wellness program for Greater Hazleton area residents ages 60 plus who like having choices in healthcare. Vital Choice gives you access to your choice of doctors, your choice of healthcare services, and free and discounted fitness, wellness, and social benefits without limiting you to one insurance provider. Learn more at lvhn.org/vitalchoice or call 501-7444.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.